Hello everybody! Looks like once again, everyone who's actually good at casting has gone off to do something else, and so you're stuck with me. I'm gonna go look into the AusNS2 Rising Stars, Pi versus Fragmented. We have the Marines spawning up here in the north in Atrium, building an arms lab. Looking for a 4-1 split from Fragmented, possibly looking to crush Crevice. These aliens slowly pushing back these Marines to a better position. Fleas gets the pick here on Crevice on 1. If these two can kill Warsaber quickly, then we should be able to get the node down in time. No. Ooh. I'll be close though. At least we'll be able to get some damage onto it. Warp comes through from Crossroads to save the node. Marine so far, slightly getting stuck in base. It'd be nice to see if maybe Mosh would go pressure with Wolf when he comes up here. Finally the Marines seem to be able to have won enough engagements to be able to push out onto the map. We're currently capping a lot of nodes and pressuring aliens only RT at this point. Critique and Camels here take a lot of chip from Warped here in Crossroads. Quite rightly decide that it's maybe not a good idea to engage on him. Aliens really need to try and save this RT if they can. It's going to be pretty brutal for them if they're unable to, coming in. One by one. Ah, Critique decides finally that it's probably not a good idea. Losing their only node at this stage of the game is pretty big. It means that a Lux is going to be that much later. The fades are going to start to be seriously delayed unless they're able to get these nodes out quickly. The Opti and Poiter here in Crossroads with Brad, Kalmos and Critique trying to get flanks. All the aliens taking a lot of chip here in Crossroads. Taking a lot of chip. Brad doesn't quite get the pick on Wolf. That's pretty harsh. Meanwhile, Opti's been able to sneak his way through the vent. Detroit somehow misses him. He gets the Drifter and the Res node here. It's going to be the alien team Res flow entirely shut down for the next few minutes. Finally see a response. This node should live unless Opti's able to pull something really big out of the hat. Easily done by Fleas. Nice work. Camels here biting nodes. So far, aliens on fairly decent work on biting what nodes Marines have been able to cap. Still bring them down to 2 nodes. It'll at least mean that with the slightly more delayed fades, it'll still possibly be an even game. We'll see some Critique here in data with Moshkin up behind. Taken. Oh, just. Friendly fire by Mosh onto Warsaber there. Bad luck. So far, aliens still managing to hold on to Vent barely. But they're getting tied up a little bit. having to defend this one node of theirs. Nice to see the lurks come out. Hopefully with these lurks out they'll be able to pack together, clear sides, and let the skulks be able to be on nodes. If he's deciding now that the lurks are up, he can go elsewhere, which I think is probably the right call. Two lurks not wanting to go on this fight. Frey gets a nice bite. Nice! This lurk's taking not all that much damage. Oh! Fatigue in a little bit of trouble here by Wolfsaber coming in for the reinforcement. Unfortunately, all that time that it took for the lurks to clear and then invent gave time for Warp to come up here in Comp Lab. That means that it's not giving a lot of time for the aliens to be able to push it onto the map and get these picks on Marines before they're able to get right to their nodes. Again, wasting a bit of time, they're going to have to come all the way back to the vent. At least the Skulks have been trying to get back onto these nodes, but not as successfully. Wolfsaber might get this here in vent if aliens aren't able to respond soon. Not quite. Even with this Marine aggression, it's still fairly solo, and with the lurks out, it's going to be a pretty tall ask, no matter what. It'd be nice to see some more pairs in these mixes, even if it means you have to wait a little bit longer. Having two Marines together is a far more potent combination than having two solo Marines die, having to respawn and go back out onto the map. Camels here able to get reactor down, which is nice. Finally, vent goes down, and again these aliens are being forced to play very reactively. Every single time that they're able to clear a side, there's another two Marines right back down there, and it's only going to get worse now that every single node is capped, other than the alien naturals. These skulks really need to get on the nose, because basically the Marines have absolutely nothing else to do at this point other than harass alien RTs. Going for pack here in Comp Lab, but again, see, it's already too late. Vent already being harassed and will almost certainly be killed, even though this Comp Lab aggression was neutralized. To a certain extent, at this point, it means that you really need to trust in your lurks to be able to hold their own with maybe only one or two skulks as backup. So you really need to have the skulks out there on the field, harassing the Marine nodes and forcing them to be pulled back, forcing them to recap, take time out. Otherwise, they are just able to run across the map straight to your nodes without any sort of hindrance. Shotguns are finally out for Marines. We see most of the shotgun here coming at crossroads. Maybe this means that the effectiveness of these lurks is going to come to an end shortly. Two in cross, two in Comp Lab. Base is slightly open. At the very least, if they don't want to go on these fights, with the gate going up in crossroads, it'll change things remarkably. The window for alien aggression onto Marine base is slowly closing, given that their res biting wasn't as great in the early sort of mid-game period. With gates and the knobs up, there's really not much point. At least they've been able to buy enough time for the phase to be able to come out at a decent sort of tech level compared to the Marines. They'll be going up against 1-1 shotties, so that should be fairly fine. some dual pressure here in Comp Lab. These Marines are parasited, and these lurks should be able to spot these two here in pipe. Gate's entirely open. I really hope that they go for these aliens. It would be the perfect opportunity. The lurks are going for it. The skulk should come as well. At the very least, it should draw back some of these Marines. Where are the lurks going? The lurks right now in Crossroads have no idea what to do. They are literally doing nothing whatsoever and letting 4 Marines kill both their naturals. Going for the base push instead. It's not going to be as easy with the phase gate. Maybe Fleas can grind the gate? No. There are 4 aliens here on the north side of the map. Absolutely not really accomplishing anything. Not even biting nodes. Meanwhile, just letting Marines walk across what really should be their territory. Finally, the call gets made for the cross gate. Brown quite nicely. Opti coming up here. Gets a bit of damage here in Brad. Nicely done by the aliens there. If they react quickly here, they should be able to clear this before they get another gate up. The lurks need to be faster than this. Critique! Oh! Gets out of there on barely any health whatsoever. This gate's gonna go up here in vent. At this point, if I was the alien team, I would entirely ignore... Actually, fades are out. With the fades, they could try and... Not with 4 Marines. With 4 Marines in vent, they need to knock one on this fight. They really shouldn't be able to take this fight, at least not without the fades. At least get the fades out on the field. Or if they can, maybe, just with skulks and lurks. Ooh, it's going to be tight. 3 Marines dead. But they're going to be spawning through and coming through their gate shortly. There's one. They really should have gotten the fades out, I feel, before they decided to go for that team fight. They didn't even really need to go for that team fight. If they just bite down these nodes here in comp and flight, and even possibly reactor before they're able to re-establish the Crossroads gate, they'll be in a much better position. I think the fades are finally coming out, yes, indeed. But still, 4 Marines here in vent. It's a bad idea to risk life forms for that. It's gonna be, like, an incredible uphill battle to go into this. They're still going for it. They really need to take the other sides of the map. D-Joy here for at least biting one node, that's good. Be good to see the, be good to see even the lurks go out and bite nodes. It's one of the things that's once shotguns comes out, weapons 2 shotguns, and the lurks feel like they can't go in for bites anymore, understandably so. It'd be nice to see more lurks in these games go out and bite res nodes if they know that there's 4 Marines here in vent. You know, they can be fairly sure that there's not going to be a massive pinch coming up for them. A lot of Marine aggression here into this hive that I'm not really sure what it was going to ever achieve, but it really has given a little bit of an opening for the aliens to go for this vent gate. Oh, it's going to be big. They should grind this gate right now. Opti somehow manages through. Get the grind on properly. Maybe? Yes. There we go. There's the nice grind. They're not going to be able to phase through that. Getting a comp lab gate instead. These aliens, so reactive. If they're able to clear this comp gate, they'll at least maybe be able to get some momentum going to be able to do what they want to on the map. No, the gate's up. They really need to go elsewhere. Need to backbite these nodes. Nicely done by D-Joy. Because so far they've been doing a fairly good job of just not letting the Marines actually accomplish what they want to. The lurks can probably entirely... Oh, please, gets taken out here again. Again, it's just... Every single time you go into a group of 4 Marines, you're risking life forms. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are, going in on 4 Marines is always going to be a risky situation, and it's not worth it. It's especially not worth it. As you can see that, with all the time it took for them to take out Vent, one solo Marine here in Complab was able to entirely just re-establish that position up on the map. It's really the nodes that I feel like they should be going for. At least with maybe less high life forms. There'll be more of a focus on the Marine res at this point. Because they really just need to buy some time for maybe the Urnos to come out before they're able to crush the gate. The best part is if you can force the recaps, is that it just either strangles the Marines of res, or It forces 2 people to go in the recap, and that leaves the gate far more exposed. Now we see no aliens here in the base. Deciding instead maybe to go for... Oh, this is a little bit of a risky situation here for Kalmos right now. The scanner went down. It should have been called that Fade was in the vent and is slightly hurt. Oh, Kalmos! Might have to get in the hive. Oh, no! No, that's another Fade down for the aliens there. The hive was open, so that was a possibility. I'm not sure if Kalmos entirely knew about that that option. A lurk also goes down. These aliens, I feel like they're on borrowed time now. With both fades down, the Marines rightly see this is all 5 Marines. This is a whole team push here in sub to end the game. They know that they have no fades, and that it's just the one lurk left, and they don't have much opposition to be able to face. Well done by Pi. They take the first round here on Summit for the AusNS2 Rising Stars tournament. If I had to make any comments on that last round for the aliens, it's just mainly they're playing reactively with a large portion of the team. If maybe they didn't have as many skulks with the lurks when they were trying to defend the nodes here in Complab and Vent, there might have been a little bit more alien presence on the north side of the map, because you could just see that with the Marine aggression, quite a lot of Marine aggression. I didn't quite see the openings for base as much, but quite a few times you saw 4 Marines pushed out entirely onto the alien portion of the map. So that could have been an option, given that there weren't any mines and the orbs was slightly more delayed. At the very least, one of the good things that you can do is if you see Marines out and the lurks don't want to go for the engagements, is that you can go for base and just force the beacon and just remove all of that Marine presence out on the map. Just take away all their map control simply before they're able to get gates out. The follow-up means that you do have to bite down the nodes and force the recaps. But just largely reactive play there from aliens. Nice work by Pi, just keeping up the aggression and forcing aliens to always be playing against them. Always having to go into a room that they control, into a room where they have the good sight lines and are able to get as much damage as possible onto the aliens and kill as many skulks before they eventually perish, which means that there'll be just that much less alien aggression out on the map and out onto their nodes. And a red plug. Oh well, I'll join you for the start of round 2.